today we are going to be talking about our beautiful scrub cap. We're actually going to be making one. A lot of you guys have been asking me over on Instagram, where do I get my scrub caps from? Some of them are store-bought, most of them are handmade, me-made. So let's get right into it. I actually have some leftover from cutting out my Jameson skirt. And so I really want to wear this to work um, so I can showcase this beautiful print. It is spring, and so why not? So the pattern that I will be using today is actually going to be a pattern that I found on Etsy. It is Easy Needlework. It is a PDF. Listen, I'm getting PDF queen over here. Y'all know I don't use PDF, but to get what I need, we're going to be doing this. I do not follow any of the instructions that was given by the owner of the pattern. I do my own thing. It is an easy pattern to follow, but it's my project and I can do whatever I want, right guys? So let's go over to the cutting board. We're gonna cut our pieces out. I'm gonna show you what else we need for our projects. You can add straps to it. The original does not come with straps, but sometimes you have braids and you wanna tie it up and make a bow in the back or something just to keep your hair together nice and tight. So we are not going to be adding straps to the one I'm making tonight, but I'm going to show you guys a little different. Come on. So we are at the cutting table, and this is going to be our front of the cap. This is the front of the cap, and I'm just going to be cutting out my piece here. I kind of started cutting it out a little bit. So it says to cut on the fold. So I'm just going to cut my pieces, come back, and show you guys the other stuff that we need. So I've cut out all of my pieces. I have added interfacing to my band, which the pattern did not say to do, but I wanted my band to be very sturdy, so I added interfacing to it. I placed some markings just to show where my center is. So this is my center. So I've had 2 markings there. I'm going to put this aside. This is our actual cap, and we need to place some markings on our cap. So I'm going to be placing a marking here, which signifies this is the center of my hat. There are some changes on here too, different from the original. There is a sew along for the original. So I marked the center here. This is the center. This is the front of my hat. I'm actually going to place another mark here where it says mark 1. Needs to be on both sides. So you're going to mark 1 on this side and 1 on this side. From this part, let's move this. From these two ends of the mark, we need to mark all the way around to the other end. That's where your elastic casing will be going. So if you can see, that's what, about 1 inch all the way around. Just give it a little draw to remind you that is where your casing is going to be going for your elastic. And guys, I'm just eyeballing this, but if you would like to measure, you can do so. So I'm going to turn it the correct way. Center, where my band will be going, my casing, and of course this is going to be getting smaller once we start getting everything together. I am actually going to be placing gathering stitch from this end all the way around to fit my band. So I'm going to take my circle to the sewing machine, and I'm just going to give it a gathering stitch from this end all the way around to the other end. So this is where our band is going to go. So again, we're going to start from this end, gather and stitch all the way around. You can also pleat it. Like I said before, the pattern does call for pleating, but we're going to do a faster way tonight. So let's go on over to our sewing machine and get that done. So I'm starting at a 5/8 and I'm just going to give it 1. Remember, when doing gather and stitch, you do not need to back stitch. Pass your center. And go all the way around to the other end, which is right here. This is my first time actually doing this one with no pleats. Usually I would do a pleat. My table is a little bit messy, guys, but we have gotten our gather and stitch. If you can see, it's a green thread right here. Well, we're going to put this to the side for now, and we are going to be working on our band. Again, mine does have interfacing on it. It doesn't call for it, but I want it to be super sturdy, so I added interfacing. So what I'm going to do now is fold my band in half. So these centers are going to be meeting. I'm going to fold in half. You're going to give it a good old press. A good old press. So let's go give it a press and come right back. So I have given my band a really good press. As you can see, the centers are meeting. And we're going to put that aside. I am going to grab my main piece and I'm going to start gathering. Just give it some gathers. So you're going to get your bobbin thread, grab your bobbin thread, and you're just going to pull. Keep pulling to adjust. So I'm just going to lay that down right here. Grab my band. This is the front of your band. The straight side is the front. So I am going to be putting right sides together. That mark right here. I'm going to line that up. And I'm just going to see how well it fits. So I have gathered my main fabric. I am just adjusting my gathers to fit perfectly around my band, because you don't want to have too many gathers on one side of your band. So I'm just adjusting to make sure. And this would be almost the same way you would make a bonnet, guys. You can make a satin bonnet just like this. So now that my gathers have fit around the band, I'm just going to clip those together. If you have a serger, you can serge this around. And cut off some of the excess, which I am going to do. You can just give it a straight stitch, and then at the end you can use a zigzag stitch to overlap on the edges just to give it a clean finish. So of course, everything is clipped together. Let's bring that up so you guys can see it. I turned it over a little, so this will be the front of your cap. And of course, the back is going to have an elastic. So I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I am going to give it a 5/8 stitch from one end to the other. So let's go. Sewing machine, and I'm just going to start from that one mark here at a 5/8. I'm going to back stitch. And we're just gonna sew all the way across. As you go, you can adjust your gathers. Basically, you can actually do a lot with this pattern. You can even embroider if you have an embroidery machine. You can place your name on the band before even sewing it together, which is what I need in my life. I don't have one of those. Trying to get me a Bernat B79 machine. Who is gonna buy me one of those? Mr. Poppins said he was gonna go look at one, and then when he went to the store, he ended up looking at some $20,000 sewing machine that I didn't even send him to go look at. Talking about some, babe, it's $20,000. Well, I didn't send you to go look at a $20,000 sewing machine, but if you want to buy it, be my gift. Be my gift. I don't mind. And we're at the end of that. I'm going to do a back stitch and secure. Take that from the machine. Let's see. So we're finished sewing our band to our main piece. With our gathers, if you can see, this is the band here. It's starting to come together. I'm just going to get my snips. Can I tell y'all while I was sewing, and I'm just going to clip my threads, I ran out of bobbin. Does that happen to you guys? My machine does not tell me when I'm running out of bobbin. It sure don't. I'm going to leave that thread in so I can take my gathering stitch out. Now, I am going to turn this over. This is where you can go ahead and serge this area off if you have a serger, or if you have your machine has zigzag stitch, you just zigzag stitch all around the circle to finish that off. So I'm going to go to my machine. I'm going to do that off camera, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you guys how we are going to do our elastic. So I have serged the inside of my cap between the band and the main fabric. I'm going to remove my gathering stitch that I placed earlier. Some people don't remove it. I do if I can get it out. If it's not visible, I don't mess with it. If it's not visible, I just leave it in. Nobody's going to see it. You're the only one that knows it is there. Mine acting like it doesn't want to come out. So I'm just going to trim this up right here, guys. Trim all my threads. Make it nice and clean. My floor be full of threads, guys. I do not have time to walk over to the trash can and saying, oh, I'm just going to put this in the trash. Nope, it's all on the ground. Now I am actually going to go to the iron, give this a good old press all the way back like this. You can put a top stitch up here if you want to. You don't have to, just to keep nice and flat. You can put a stitch right on top of your gathers here. After pressing your hat, as you can see, this naturally folds for you right on the path where we actually had that line in the back for elastic casing. It naturally folds for you. So I'm going to just fold it up right on the line like so. And I'm going to press it up and come right back. So I went to the pressing table and I did go ahead and fold over. So this is going to be making our casing for elastic. So we need to go to the sewing machine and we are going to continue folding that over, and we're just going to give a stitch all the way around. Remember guys, we're making a casing, so our elastic band can go inside the casing and will fit very well. It will not fold for you perfect, so just go ahead and make little folds while you're sewing onto your machine. So I'm going to start my stitch a little bit below where my band and my main fabric join. I'm just going to start right here, so I'll be able to go ahead and stick my pin in here to get my elastic through my casing. And we're going to do that on both sides. So we're going to start a little bit down here. I'm going to sew all the way around. We are going to back stitch. We're going to go all the way around. This is where we're going to put a little fold here. All the way around. So I finished making my casing for us to place our elastic in. I cut a 12-inch long elastic for my casing. So I'm just going to grab a pin, attach it to my elastic, and we're going to feed that all the way through the casing. So I got my pin, and I am going to just grab the first end here, and I'm going to feed that all the way around. You can adjust the elastic to how tight you would want it on your head. I'm holding the end of my elastic. You can adjust it. I really do not like anything too fitted or tight on my head, so I made sure I cut my elastic long. You can always pin both ends on the fabric, try it on to make sure it's the fit for you, and then you can go ahead and stitch that in. So we have gotten to the end of the casing. I'm going to pin this on the edge of my, oops, almost lost a finger. And I'm just going to adjust this a little bit. I have another pin here. And I'm just going to pin the elastic to this end. I'm going to try this on. Hat came together, or hat should be looking like so. This is pretty big for me, it looks like, but I'm going to try it on and see what it looks like and how it feels. So I tried my hat on. For me, it is super loose. So I'm just going to undo this small pin, and I'm just going to pull that elastic. Pull this elastic. I'm going to try it on again and see what happens. Okay guys, so I've adjusted my hat and I've pulled my elastic a little bit tighter. So we are going to go to the sewing machine, and I am going to tack that right here on the edge, right here. So at any time, if your elastic gets old, you can always actually take that apart. So I'm just going to take it to the machine. I'm going to give it a straight stitch on both ends right here and on this end. So let's go to the machine. So we're just going to set this under the machine. This is the end of her casing. And I'm just going to give it one straight stitch all the way down. A couple times we're going to do, make sure to back stitch so it can hold. Let's take that off, and we're going to do that to the other side as well. Let's do a little bit of clipping here. Who gonna know you made your hat unless you told them? You can say basically 99.99 finish. So we are done with our lovely scrub cap, because every nurse and every tech needs a scrub cap. It is oh so beautiful and neat. I'm gonna put this on and show you guys what it looks like on me, and hopefully you guys gonna make one too. So I'm looking a little raggedy, guys, a little raggedy, no, a lot raggedy, because today was wash day. So I'm gonna show you guys what my cap looks like on me and how it's fitting. You can also add buttons. You can add straps if you would like. Let me center that. You can add buttons, you can add stripes. No, Kizzy, you can add straps. This is such a bold and beautiful print. Let me show you guys the back. This is what it looks like. You can add the straps to go around. You can add buttons to right here. So when you put your mask on, it is actually not hurting your ears. So guys, I hope you guys did like this tutorial. This pattern again is from Easy Needlework. She does have a tutorial over on her page. I kind of did it a little bit different, but you can choose between my take, her take on how you would like to make your scrub cap. So I hope to see a lot of you nurses, techs, radiologists, and doctors in your new scrub cap that you have made at home, or a friend, but Kizzy ain't gonna make it for you. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to tell your auntie, your uncle, your cousin, your auntie, and your pet to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.